You're listening to Porn Free Masculinity, where you connect to your recovery and your destiny.
Well, hey, everybody. We're glad to be back. My friend Rob is here. Hey, Rob.
Hey, Chris. Good to be with you.
Absolutely. And today we're going to be talking about security. And one of the things that I do from time to time is get together with some guys, and we really go deep together. And I've had this experience repetitively for the last 11 years or so in retreats and, one-day events, even in meetings that we've gotten together. And one of the experiences that I really have resonated with was when I'm in that space and I felt the connection with the guys that were there, and they've seen me and I've seen them, and we felt attuned together, being with one another. I really felt very secure. And so, Rob, just kind of as we're thinking today, what is it about security that leads to such a deep level of the human experience and also growth, but also for our stories to be so important in our recovery process?
Yeah, gosh, that's a deep question, and I think of at least two different roads that I'm gonna take us down in our short time together today. I'm going to also translate the word security to safety as well.
Sure.
So from my own journey, as I think about where I've come from and where I'm going to, I often describe myself as a insecure little boy stuck in a man's body. And that's really been most of my life. When I think back to addiction starting at the age of 10, I think about the pieces and parts of my life that were in place at the time that caused me to turn to that coping skill or coping mechanism. I had a lot of insecurity, back then as a little boy. I was looking to attach to people around me. I was looking to attach to mom and dad figures. And I would attach to anyone.
Yeah.
I was attaching to friends as parents.
Yep.
When I would spend the night, I was attaching to extended family, like my uncles. I was attaching to teachers. I would attach to Sunday school teachers. I would attach to one of my mom's boyfriends, because I was looking for someone to just be with me, like just the withness, and someone that would just sit and help me regulate. I mean, I felt very chaotic as a kid. And so there's this element of security and safety that I think I've been looking for my whole life. And when I got into recovery, the question then becomes is this a safe process? In other words, what I've been longing for my entire life, now I'm face to face with, and I had to ask myself, whether it was out loud or just intuitively, am I willing to let these parts of me be known?
Wow.
I mean, I've been hiding my whole life. I'm really good at hiding and pretending. And now the question really came to the forefront of, am I going to take the risk in an environment with guys one-on-one? Certainly doing this with a spouse is hard because of the hurt and pain and trauma that's been caused. And so it's should be safe, but often doesn't feel safe because of what a spouse is feeling. But yeah, I really had to wrestle with that. And it was a slow burn for me, Chris, to get to the place where I felt like I could tell the worst parts of me and still be accepted and loved. And that took quite a number of years for me as I worked through my recovery journey.
Yeah, and I think I'm probably on the other side of that is I would tell anybody and everybody my stuff, but I didn't feel safe in my skin doing it. It was almost like I was stripping for the show, just because that felt better than nothing. And so for me, the insecurity was almost like, yeah, I'll tell you whatever. I mean, we have a mutual friend whose name is also Rob. Shout out to Rob, who first time we met, we sat over lunch, and I stripped naked emotionally, relationally, and he stripped naked emotionally and relationally. We got it all out in an hour and a half there at the table. And but when I left that experience, I didn't feel any more secure. I mean, yeah, another guy knew my story. Great. But for me, it really was seeing people who I could be with, and they would hold what I had to say with kindness, with care, with patience, and they would reflect things back to me that I struggled to connect with because I didn't believe it was true. I mean, I did for a long time, Rob. I didn't believe I was a good person. I felt like I was just a piece of shit, and there really was no redeeming me whatsoever. And so when I would go back to my corner, whether that was home or work or wherever, it was like, that was great over there, but this is reality.
Yeah.
And so it really took the security for me took a long time. I mean, it took years of having these experiences. I'd probably say half a dozen of these weekends that I first went to, and then some one-on-one conversations that were truly secure and safe. And then those experiences began to add up. And it was harder and harder for me to argue from my childhood insecurity, from my trauma and my disconnection from parents and all the things that I held up as here's why there's something wrong with me.
Yeah.
Those things begin to really pass each other to where now the security began to feel more, and I hate to use this word, normal, day to day. Like I woke up, not that I don't have insecure feelings, I have them all day, all week long, but the insecurity was not the dominating narrative in my heart.
I love how you said that you saw yourself as a piece of crap.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I resonate with that because as I slowly started to unfold my story in a safe environment, looking for that security that I've been longing for, I would expect folks or men to say, no, I hear you, but I would expect them to pile on,
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe all that you've done, all the pain that you caused.
Right.
And Chris, when they didn't do that, I will tell you the first probably a dozen times that I told pieces and parts and they didn't pile on, I would turn around and help them pile on. I would be like, no, you don't get it.
This.
No, let me read it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me re-describe it. Clearly, I didn't say it well enough the first time. You have no idea what I've caused, who I've been, and what I've become, because for some reason I felt like dumping on myself was actually more secure than receiving love, grace, and compassion. And
Rob, that place right there, I know you have something else to share, but that place right there, I just want to put a pin in that because that is the human experience. I work with teenagers for a long time. I've never met a secure teenager. Now, they may have portrayed security, but they lived thinking they were the worst person. I call it terminally unique. Terminally unique. I'm the only one like me, and it's going to kill me.
Yeah. So true, right? And, and I think part of my journey, and I think, I don't know if other guys can resonate with this, but part of my journey is if I beat myself up enough, then somehow I'll feel better about myself, number one, and number two, God won't have to beat me up, right? So there's kind of that phase of recovery where, shame continues to be the predominant thought. And in some cases that actually feels safe to continue to pile on the shame. But, as I think about that kind of that slow burn into telling the truth and being accepted by whoever you're sharing with, what it has given me then is permission to do a couple of things. It's given me permission to name what happened and use language to put around, the events of my life, both from how I got here to the harm that I caused to who I became. It's also given me the ability and the permission to give myself grace and give myself some form of forgiveness as I've kind of walked through this. And then finally,
so important.
Yeah. And then finally in the middle of that, and I really believe this is true for me. I was never going to heal from something that I wasn't willing to name and that I wasn't willing to be completely gut honest about. And so sitting in a space with one individual or a group of individuals that are willing to hold the heaviness of all of it, right? All of my story becomes such a powerful springboard or platform for me then to look at my life with truth, grace, and honesty. And it's only then that I'm able to actually grieve what happened. I'm actually able to mourn what became of myself. I'm able to feel all of the emotions around the consequences of my choices. And I'm able to actually collectively and individually move forward in my recovery because of those moments in which guys and groups have created that safety and security for me.
Such a place of healing.
Yeah.
Such a place of love. I mean, I think that's ultimately what we want. We want to be seen, soothed, safe, and secure. Those are some good therapeutic words. If you've not heard your therapist say that, ask them about that next time. What does it mean to be seen, soothed, safe, and secure? Because that's something they need to be inviting you to. So, and we want to continue to invite everyone that's listening to that same place as well. Rob and I have a great affection for one another and want to be safe and secure with each other as we do life together, but also as we share these thoughts with you. So we look forward to seeing you guys soon, and come back and join us again.
Thanks, Chris.
Thanks, Rob. Take care.
Don't forget to subscribe for more episodes. You can connect with Chris at pornfreemasculinity.com.